Students, today let us start with part 2 of third chapter, diversity in living things and their classification. Children, we have started with need for classification in plants. First, previous video we have seen the structure of plant, what are the different diversity in plants. Now today let us see the need for classification of plants. We have seen why there is a need, because there are lakhs of plants whose information is collected, so it is easier to classify them on the basis of their similarities and differences, so that it is easy to remember them. So the scientist who has made this scientific classification to study the plants was Carolus Linus. What was his name, children? Just remember this. Who made the classification easy of plants was Carolus Linus. He was the first scientist who made the classification of plants. Initially it was his method of classification that was used by all. So here this based on that one activity is given to you all. One table is shown to you all. You have to take a round in your garden, in your surrounding. If you have garden, you can take a round in your garden or in your surrounding and list the plants that you see. Draw their pictures as well. Draw a table as shown below and complete it on the basis of the information you gather. Discuss in the class. See this table you can make like this. Name of the plant. One example they have given, rose. Any plant you can observe and write its name in the first column. Where does the plant occur, grow? Where do you find that plant? In the garden. Okay, like this you can write it. Nature of the stem. How is the stem? Color of that stem, dark brown and all like that. Hard stem or soft while touching, how you feel the stem, you can write it. Height of that plant, you can observe that plant, whether it is very tall, whether it is medium heighted plant, or whether it is very short plant. Okay, so branches, you can count the branches number, you can write it how many branches after counting it. Then for next one is leaves. You can observe the color of that plant's leaves color, you can observe and write it. Its shape you can see. You can find out its edges. Zigzag edges are there or curve edges is there, you can write it like that. Flowers color, if that plant is having flower, you can write the flower, how what color it has fragrance or not. Fragrance means smell. Shape of that flower also you can write it down. Then next one is second last is nature of fruit, whether that plant has fruit. Then what type of color it has, what is the shape, whether the fruit is soft or hard, by touching you can observe it, its uses. So this is one activity, you can write it down. Then classification of plants. So here let's start classification of plants. How the plants are classified. We can easily notice the differences in the shape and the height of the plants. Yes or no, children? We can easily notice the plants on the basis of its shape and height in our surroundings. The tall one plant, easily you can say that one is a coconut plant. It's very tall. Yes or no? For seeing you have to turn your neck very high. Yes or no? So coconut is a very tall plant. Then it is easy to classify the plants on the basis of the observation. First, children, you all observe it, and then basis of the shape and height you can observe it. See here that picture is given 3.3 diversity in plants. See here the very tall one is a coconut. Then after that these are the banyan trees. These are the extra roots, they are called as aerial roots. Then this one is medium heighted one is a banana tree. Then after that this one small heighted later on, so small one is a grass right from that. Okay, so basis on the height you can notice the plants very easily. So let's see the first classification they have done. Let's see that. Can you tell what are the similarities between a mango, a banyan and a tamarind tree? Children, mango tree is very tall, banyan tree is also tall, tamarind tree is also tall. So these trees are heighted, taller one. So first one is trees. Under that classification, first we will classify the plants under first one is trees. Some plants grow tall. Yes or no, children? Some are very very tall. Their stem or trunk is hard and strong. If you touch there, now here the picture is given to you. This one is a tree, tall one. If you see this stem, it's very hard and strong. Hard and strong it is. Yes or no, children? It is very hard and strong. So remember that trees are tall, Their stem or trunk is very hard and strong. They have branches at some height above the ground. Above the ground, little bit above the ground, they will start developing their branches. They bear flowers and fruits for many years. Children, they live for many years and they bear flowers and fruits for many years. Such plants are called trees. Trees are tall, big and perennial. Perennial meaning is they live for many years. So the first classification of plant is done. Is first one is trees. So trees, remember, they are tall, very big, and they live for many years. They bear flowers and fruits on them for many years. So remember how is their stem? It is very hard and strong. Then second type of classification based on height is shrubs. What are the similarities between hibiscus, oleander and lantana plants? Children, they are medium heighted plants. They are not very tall like trees. Okay, they are medium heighted plants, so they will be called as a shrub. So here the picture is given to you. See, can you see in this picture? They are from ground. Their branches are very close. They are not very tall like trees. So some plants, they grow close to the ground. They give out branches also very close to the ground. They are shorter and smaller than trees. How they are? In comparison with the trees, they are little shorter and smaller, but they have thick and hard stem. Their stem is also thick and hard, but they are shorter in height or smaller in height as compared with the trees. Trees are very tall and big. Example of these shrubs you can give is oleander, hibiscus, lantana, coranti are the shrubs. They may grow up to 2 to 3 meters height. Remember the height, 2 to 3 meters their height is. Okay. Now let's move to the third classification, herbs. What are the similarities between fenugreek and periwinkle plants? Children, they are not so much high like trees also, and they are not so much in height as compared to the shrubs also. So let's see the third type of classification they have done is after shrubs is herbs. So this one is the herbs. Their height is only 1 to 1.5 meter. Remember this, 1 to only 1.5 meter in height. The stem of herbs are green and quite flexible. Children, their stems of herbs are green in color and they are quite flexible. Flexible means, children, they can be moved. They can be easily breakable. Okay, they are easily breakable as compared to the trees and bushes. If you touch the tree's stem, it is very hard. You cannot break it, yes or no? But herbs stems are quite green in color and flexible. Herbs, what is their life cycle? They may live only for few months or up to 2 years. Only till 2 years only they can live. That is only their life cycle. So remember this. What is the herbs? Herbs means, children, they are very small in height. They grow only till 1 to 1.5 meter. Mostly herbs are medicinal plants. Okay, like tulsi, neem tulsi, aloe vera. They are very small in height. Okay, stems of herbs are green in color and quite flexible. They live for only few months or till next 2 years. Okay, so according to the size and height of their stems, plants are classified into 3 types: trees, herbs and shrubs. According to the height, remember that trees are classified into 3: trees, shrubs and herbs. Trees are very tall, shrubs are medium heighted plants. They can grow up to 2 to 3 meters, and herbs are very small in height, 1 to 1.5 meters. So after height, we have seen 3 classification of plants. Now one more is their vines. Children, have you seen the vines like the pumpkin, the railroad creeper, guava, watermelon or grapevine? How do they grow? Just observe this vines, children. Vines, they grow either on a ground, or they need one support to grow. Why? Because they need a support, children, because their fruits are very heavy. Understood? And they need they either grow on ground only, or they need a support to grow. Okay, so children, let's see the classification based on vines. Some vines need vertical support for growing. Children, can you see here? This is the support given of this one is a stick. Okay, it's these vines are grown on the stick, so they need a support to grow, while some others they spread on ground. Children, on ground only they grow. Climbers like money plants have aerial root. You have seen on some people are planting money plant at home. Yes or no? So they have sometimes have extra roots, aerial roots growing. Have you seen the cucumber tendrils? They look like a spring. Cucumber also grows on this one. Then creepers only. Their tendrils. Tendrils means their stems are like this spring. Okay. Of what use could be they? Touch the stems of any vines. What do you feel, children? If you have money plant at home, just see its stem. You will touch the stem, you will find they are very flexible. It can be easily breakable. It is soft, very soft, and it is green in color. It grows rapidly with the help of support. You need a support. You have to give them a. They need a support. You have to give them a support. Without support, they will not able to grow. Why? Because their stem is very weak, so flexible, soft and green. Just see here, children, how these creepers have grown. See here, children, climbers and creepers. Those who are climbing, they are called as a climbers, means they have grown up with the help of this stick. They have given them a support. Okay, so they are climbing up, so they are called as a climbers. And those who have grown on a ground like this, they are called as a creepers. So these are the fruits, vegetables which are grown. Watermelon. Okay, this is watermelon. Then pumpkin. Okay, they are heavy fruits. They grow on the vines, creepers only. Okay, so those who are growing on the ground, they are called as a creepers. And those who grow up like with the help of this stick which needed a support, they are called as a climbers. So remember this, they are very soft vines. Their stem is very soft, green in color, and flexible. It can be easily break also if you touch it and try to break it. Okay, it grows rapidly with the help of support. If you give them support, they will easily grow. So let's see further now. For how many years do crops like bajra, wheat, corn, radish, marigold live? Children, have you observed that how many years these crops are living? The life cycle. Let's study now. Second type of classification is life cycle, based on life cycle. Now till now we have seen based on the height of the plants. They are classified as trees, herbs, shrubs, vines. Those who need support, they are called as a vines. Now based on the life cycle of plants, this is second classification. First classification was based on height. Second classification will see based on life cycle. So like plants like jawar, sunflower, they complete their life cycle in only 1 year. That is why they are called as annuals. Annual means they live for 1 year. That is why they are called as annuals. The life cycle of plants like carrot and beetroot is of 2 years. That is why they are called biennials. These plants, they live for only 2 years, not more than 2. That is, after 2 years the plants dies. That is why their life cycle is only of 2 years. That is why they are called as biennials. Just remember this spelling, children. Example of plants, they will ask, can you give example of 2 biennial plants? You should give immediately carrot and beetroot. Annual plants, jawar, sunflower and all. Okay, now some plants, hibiscus, oleander trees, mango, gulmohar, they live for many years. Several years means many years. And they have flowers and fruits also for many years. So they are called as perennials. They live for many years. We can't say at what year they will die. So they live for many years. That is why they are called as perennials. So according to the life cycle, plants are classified into 3: annuals, biennials and perennials. According to height, first classification, according to the height, they were classified into trees, herbs and shrubs and vines. According to the life cycle, annuals, biennials and perennials. So let's move further. Now third type of classification, flowering plants and non-flowering plants. Can you tell to which part of plants are butterflies and insects attracted? Children, definitely flowers. Butterflies, they flit around the flowers. Yes or no? So plants that wear flowers are called flowering plants. On plants which you can see flowers on them, they are called as flowering plants. And the plants which do not have flowers on them, they are called as non-flowering plants. So this is third classification of plants. Those who have flowers on them, they are flowering plants. Those who don't have flowers on them, they are called non-flowering plants. Non-flowering plants do not have the parts like root, stem and leaves. Is it okay, children? Here, do you know, extra information is given. The world's largest flower is found in Indonesia. Its name is given, children, and its height is also given. Name of that flower is Rafflesia arnoldi. Its height is 1 meter, so much tallest it is. And smallest flower's name is also given, Wolfia or duckweed. Its diameter is very small, 0.5 millimeter. So millimeter means very small, minute in size. Is it okay, children? So this is the extra information, you can check it out. Can you tell where does the pomegranate shrub grow? These are the questions they ask you. Pomegranate, definitely you will find they grow on a land. Where does the lotus grow, children? Lotus grows on water. Where do bulrushes, railroad creeper grow? Children, creepers and all, they also grow on land only, but they need a support. Where does the dodder plant grow? Dodder plant also grow on land only. So here some are the habitats. The fourth classification we will see is the where do the plants grow, their habitat, whether they grow on land, whether they grow on water, yes or no. Some grow in marshy places. Marshy means muddy places. During rain time, you see how much muddy the place becomes. Water and soil mixes, that is called as a muddy. Some plants grow in muddy places, some plants grow in deserts. So these are the habitat of the plants where they grow. So fourth type of classification is this, based on the habitat. Habitat means where they are growing. So we see different plants growing in different places. Yes or no, children? Plants can be easily classified based on their habitat, where they grow. Habitat means where the place they grow. Some grow on land, some grow in water, some grow in marshy areas, some grow in deserts. Even a brick tree are the various habitats of the plants. So this picture is given to you, children, very well. See water. In water, these are the plants grown. Some plants they grow inside water. Some plants they grow on land. Some plants they grow on stone also. Yes or no? Then some plants grow on grow in desert. Can you see here? Desert is the habitat. Aloe vera, cactus. These plants they grow on land, water. So these are the places where they grow. So fourth type of classification is based on that habitat where they grow. So here we have seen classification of plants. 4 classifications we have seen. What was the, children? The first classification done on the basis of height. They were classified into 3 types: trees, herbs and shrubs and vines. Second one was according to their life cycle: annuals, biennials and perennials. And the third one was based on their bearing flowers and non-bearing flowers. Those who bear flowers, they are called flowering plants. Those who don't bear flower, they are called non-flowering plants. And the last was based on their classification based on their habitat. Some grow on land, some grow in water, some grow in desert or marshy areas. So till here we have seen classification of plants. In next part we will start with the classification, diversity in animals and classification in animals. Till then, revise your lesson till here. Goodbye.